Most of us think we're too smart to fall for any government propaganda. The government can never convince me of something that's not true against my best interests. Well, guess what? You're probably wrong, because you probably believe a lot of government propaganda that was put out a long time ago. You probably still believe that carrots will really help your eyesight. And most Americans do. In a recent poll, it was found that most Americans believe that carrots are the key to good eyesight. And it's not true. It was World War II propaganda. You see, in World War II, the British had developed a new type of radar that allowed them to see the enemy planes at night and shoot them down much easier. They needed an excuse of why they were shooting down so many planes, why they were doing so well. So they put out propaganda, and it was mostly to fool the enemy, mostly to fool the Germans into believing that they had made some discovery with their populations on how to improve their night sight. But it wasn't true. It was just for the war effort. Now, there's some pseudoscience behind it, and the fact that if you are vitamin A deficient and you eat plenty of carrots, which are full of vitamin A, that it will help your eyesight. But if you're not already deficient, it doesn't matter how many carrots you eat, your eyesight's not going to improve. We don't think it hurt anyone. It probably helped. Carrots are rich in fiber and all sorts of other vitamins, and they're not bad for you. And it was good to get some farmers planting more carrots and more healthy foods. And there was a sugar shortage, and they came up with all these substitutes trying to sell carrots to children, and that still goes on today. This wasn't all a war effort that carries on today, that you still have in your mindset of, I believe this, and it's in our popular culture that we believe it, but it was government propaganda. Good propaganda, not designed to fool you in a bad way, not designed to hurt you, but it was propaganda nonetheless. So how many other things were propaganda that we believe? Our history books still portray Napoleon Bonaparte as being short. When you see him in some type of character or some type of cartoon or some type of movie, they always portray him as being extra short. It's not true. It was government propaganda. It was aimed against Bonaparte to hurt his men's spirit, to help the other side in their confidence. It was government propaganda that you still believe. Bonaparte was average height for his time. Also plenty of propaganda that's not necessarily government propaganda, but propaganda nonetheless. Corporate propaganda. Some of this propaganda is a lot of people still believe the woman who sued McDonald's over hot coffee was money hungry. That she was out to make a quick buck, and they talk negatively about people who would sue McDonald's over a cup of coffee. But when reality comes in, you learn that McDonald's was intentionally serving their coffee too hot for their cups, that they knew that this coffee would go through the cup. They did that so that they wouldn't have to give refills. They wanted to discourage people from getting refills. If the coffee's too hot, you won't come and get refills so soon. They also knew that it could cause injuries. It caused injuries to other people. She had 5-figure medical bills. It scalded her legs with 3rd-degree burns and fused her labia. All she wanted was her medical bills paid. She asked to pay the medical bills, and they refused. They stonewalled her. When they sued, it wasn't her that asked for the monetary damages. It was the judge who decided that these people needed to be taught a lesson, that McDonald's needed to be taught a lesson. They knew they were going to hurt people, and they did it anyway. He's the one who issued such a big settlement, but she didn't get it. McDonald's appealed, and they appealed to another court out of state, and they eventually settled for a much lower amount that was undisclosed. But the rumor and the propaganda persisted that McDonald's put out there that this woman was money hungry and was a frivolous lawsuit. A lot of people believe that absinthe makes you hallucinate, makes you do crazy things. It's not true. That was propaganda put out by the wine industry. The wine industry, absinthe was hurting their sales. So they put out propaganda that absinthe was just terrible for you. But it's not true. A lot of people also believe that diamonds are rare. Most people believe that diamonds are rare, that diamonds are an odd thing and that they're difficult and all that, when it's just not true. The De Beers Corporation has propaganded that lie. They propaganded the lie that you need a diamond to get married, that you have to save 2 months' salary to prove that you love this woman. Diamonds indeed are not rare. They're artificially controlled, by one corporation who owns almost every diamond mine. They artificially control the price and inflate them. As a matter of fact, they're not rare at all. Once you get down to a certain level of the earth, they're pretty prevalent, and they have a lot in stock and a lot on back. But they propaganda this to you to convince you that they're expensive. They have to artificially inflate the price, and they go to great measure to do it, sometimes paying off government entities to do this. So I want to put this on a slash between corporate and government propaganda, because it helps the government in the fact that these people make contributions to their campaigns, and they're very, very rich people. They want to inflate the prices of diamonds to keep you paying it. I put this video out there, not just so you could look at my dog. I put this video out there because I don't want people to think that they're beyond propaganda, because if you're not looking out for it, if you don't know that you're already being victimized by propaganda, you're more likely to fall for it in the future. You got to learn from your mistakes. We have to learn from things that we have done wrong in the past. We have to learn from things that we've believed that were not true. We have to look out for propaganda. It's our job. We can't have a free society. We can't have free elections. We can't have anything if we believe everything that's told to us. We have to look out for corporate, government, any type of propaganda that's put out there by politicians, any type of propaganda that's put out there by large entities. We have to look out for this, because our nation, our world, depends on knowing better.